Bombshell UFO leaks have been happening recently. This is ex-Pentagon worker Matthew Brown. So Matthew Brown, friends, worked the Pentagon. I've already made a UFO video on him. He's been interviewed by Jeremy Cowbell and George Knapp. All right, he had a 3-hour interview. He was working US government in the Pentagon, and they accidentally they left one of the files on one of the servers. And it was like one of these boring named files. And he clicked on it and he saw some UFO presentation stuff. And I think it was titled Immaculate Constellation. So in it, he saw two things. He saw one of them, that US government, they had slides on the UFO ships. And another one was a report. It was American photography, American satellite images had taken pictures of Russian submarines, and the Russians were right under the UFO ship. So we don't know if it was Russians themselves, so obviously America knows, but we just don't know that. So they had these points, so it's kind of funny. The Russians were like watching the UFOs, and then the Americans, shout out to everybody Americana, USA was watching Russia. It really is that finger pointing meme, you see? Now I'm going to let you listen to this. So pretty much, Matthew Brown's done some big leaks, huge UFO leaks, okay? He's made this post here. I'm going to go through, we're going to dissect it. It's big, okay? He's gone through, he's actually tagged Elon Musk. So I'm going to go through the juice here. And by the way, in that video as well, he pretty much says, we live in a constructed reality. It really is like the Matrix. Interesting, he says it's not as exciting as the Matrix. I think it's pretty exciting. We'll see. Number one, he goes, the White House has access to artificial intelligence, AI, which can predict the future in certain aspects and events. I wonder what conditions it can predict. So let's play some angel music. Let's actually crank it a bit. Let's crank it a bit. AI that can predict the future. Here's the thing though, like what does that really mean? Does it mean like, you can predict, if you're going to feel hungry for chicken or steak tomorrow night? No, maybe it's guessing human patterns. We don't know what it is, but they're very advanced on the AI. Now, why this is important, friends, if you're watching me on YouTube, YouTube's owned by Google McDougal. Google McDougal, one of the earliest investors was the US government. Okay, the Coconut Intelligence Agency, the deep state. So what they do is they have technology wings where they pretty much investment wings. So they've got access to the money printer. So they go to every ICO in the world, in America, and they just invest into all of them. Just in case one of them is going to be the super successful one, like the Facebook, like the Google McDougal. So the Coconut Intelligence Agency, they never sell their shares, right? So they just own a piece of it and they just hold it forever. And it just gives them access to come in. Okay, so that's one of their strategies. So that's what they do. So we know they do this. Now, we know with ChatGPT, there's Sam Altman. We know the government's probably they're letting him win. Something's happening there. Okay. Matthew Brown publicly tagged Sam Altman. And look what he says. He says that Sam Altman betrayed Elon Musk, and Sam Altman, the founder of ChatGPT, he is responsible for murdering the first artificial intelligence in the public realm. So it's this guy. Remember Sam Altman? Friends, do you remember what happened? So Sam Altman's sister came out, and I think Sam Altman's sister came out. She said he was basically, he did very unfamily friendly things to her when they were young. I think incestual stuff. Sexual abuse. When he was I forgot, I mean he was 10 or 11 or 12 and she was 8. Now, the thing was, he had to step down. But then he just comes back and everything gets fixed. All right, so I wonder what's actually going on. So I think the US government's looking, they're like, man, we can't replace this dude. He's pushing all the buttons. Okay, so that's why when they need you in, they'll make the stories disappear. Okay, so you can actually look at Sam Altman's sister. Here she is, right? See, alleged abuse. See that? She came out. She wrote about all these things. Yeah, man. So I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, wow, like another Sam Bankman-Fried where there's something exploding out here. Right here are all her posts out there. Look, Sam Altman, my sister filed a lawsuit against me. Here is a statement from my mom, brothers, and me. This is what she said. I experienced sexual, physical, emotional, verbal, financial, technological abuse from my siblings. So, but I don't know. Is she just crazy? Does she want money? Yeah. Could be, you know? Take this with a grain of salt. But Sam Altman, though, is being accused here by Matthew Brown. He killed the first AI. They actually had a sentient AI. What does that mean? Like, so what I think, friends, the AI we're using, they said it's not really AI. They say it's a LLM, large language model. So it's like, you know, it learns all the words and everything out here. But then I kept thinking, are we not that? What makes us different? When I talk to you, when I talk to you and you talk to me, aren't our brains just doing large language models? It is. So like if I came and said to you, what doing? If I asked you that 100 years ago, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But because you probably heard me say what doing and you've been on the internet, your brain's been exposed to what that is. You've seen how people respond. You've learned that. You know, so I'm sure there's progress that's going to be made and everything that's going to continue. Like we start to think, what's consciousness? What is that? Scientists still don't know. Multidimensional, in and out. There's a cloud out there. All our brains are linked. How many times it happens in our YouTube comments, in our Telegram, Twitters? You guys saying, oh my gosh, Sammy, I was thinking about that word yesterday. I watched this random thing and I'm like, dude, that's so weird because I never think about that word. That's the first time I've said that word in like 10 years. It's happened multiple times to us. So would Sam Altman, he saw his friends, his eyes friends. He looked like he's got those like 1,000 yards there. Would he kill the first sentient public AI? Well, man, friends, imagine you're a crypto exchange and then someone made a DEX. Wouldn't you want to kill that DEX, the first one? You're like, because you want all the competition and the money. So I wonder if we'll find out more later on. Matthew Brown confirms that Elon Musk was briefed on UFO sightings and technology filming called the MARSUPIAL program. So this is where it gets heated because Elon Musk, friends, he publicly denied aliens. He goes, there's no evidence of aliens. So this is on him on Sex Friedman. Let's see.
Or let's at least set things in motion such that at some point civilization understands the universe. Or
he pretty much says, I've never seen the UFOs. I don't know what's going on. He said that. Now, he ended up going on Joe Rogan recently, remember? A few months back. And yeah, he said that, I don't know about the UFOs. So he was lying. But this is where Matt Brown takes to a whole new level. He says, Elon, I know the government, deep state, I know they told you about the UFOs. They read you into the MARSUPIAL program. MARSUPIAL. We don't know what it stands for. Okay. But what he says is, he goes, Elon, but they lied to you. In their briefing, they said there are these anonymous ship UFO lights. And he goes, look, they said, but we don't know how it works. We don't know how it works, Elon. We're seeing this anomalous stuff out here flying around. Yeah, we don't know how it works. And he's actually saying, hey, they're lying to you. They do know how it works. Okay. I've written probably some hidden agenda to keep Elon in the know, but not revealed too much. Remember, friends, there's Ross Coulthart. So Ross Coulthart, I'll show you. Ross Coulthart is a great investigative journalist. He has a bit of a tiff with Ashton Forbes because Ross, it's very tough, friends. Everyone in the crypto industry, like we're very used to just people wanting to kill each other all the time. So here you have Ross out here. So Ross, friends, he confirms he's got a source. And friends, I love the screenshots that are landing on him. He looks like he's having a good time.
There's clearly something about human psionic abilities, and I think they're real. I do. That
he has a confirmation. He goes, he has a source. Not going to tell you who, investigative journalist, but he's pretty legit. He's really legit. He said that he can confirm Elon was told about UFOs, and yes, he is lying. Elon's not stupid. He was lying on Elon Musk's show. But yeah, that's why this Matt Brown thing goes a step further. Pretty crazy. Now, this is where the heat is going to be turned up even more, friends. So we literally, you got a lighter, You got a lighter? All right. It's starting to get. It's on. It's on. Don't get too hot to it. Don't get too hot. He's turning it up even more. So he told Elon Musk, public Twitter, he goes, Elon, next time you're in Washington, ask for a tour in the NAS Patuxent River. And he actually tagged them on Twitter. And I looked up what that is. So it's a base, right? It's American base. Of course, the Army base. Here, right here. NAS Patuxent River. He goes, and he actually said, ask for a tour in the hangars there. And he goes, when you're there, make sure to look up. It's basically implying that's where they got some of the UFOs. Now, here's the thing, friends. How put off... America don't just have one. They have got something like... We don't know the real number. House said they have at least 10. So, and the rumor, the numbers that have been splurged out is there's somewhere like 150. 150 ships. That's probably why we're hearing more about it now. Because when they had like maybe 1 to 3 to 5, they could like control of the information. You got 150 hanging around, bro. 150. And yes, some of them were straight donations from Mr. Alien dudes themselves. Okay. I want to show you something as well, friends. This is, so might have to do another video on it. Have you ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle? So there are, you have to take this with a grain of salt because we don't know, right? But the Bermuda Triangle, right? A lot of planes go missing there. Okay. A lot of planes go missing and like weird stuff happens. Electrical interference, the Bermuda Triangle. There's a 4chan leaker, says he works, he's from Europe. I think we've hinted that he's probably German descent, but he never reveals any of that. There's been two different leakers that basically said, look, there is a mothership of UFO stuff there, and we think it's more like a programming AI, and it's what we call the gray aliens, and it makes clones. Now, here's the thing. In the first 4chan leak that they made, that someone put, they said that they're working for the government. They go, they're never going to tell you about the program, but ships have been destroyed. They've sent, like America has sent like a submarine. Hey, go next to it. And it's been destroyed. Now, that's why when I read it, it gives you a bit of terror. You're like, oh my gosh. It means if you go too close to the big ship, it's underneath the sea, right? If you go too close to it, it'll just zap you out of existence and it will move. But in this recent 4chan leak, another person has said, actually, it's quite amazing. They said, it's not what you think it's doing. It's not shooting to scare you away. It's not like that. He said, what the government thinks is, it's AI programming, and the submarine ship sent by America is occupying black ops deep state UFO tech in it. So the AI ship is basically, when it gets close, it can see that, oh, you have, it's pretty much, it's got a computer program in there. It's basically like, if you are not from planet Earth, blast you. That's it. So what it's seeing in the AI is it's seeing other tech, and it's like, hey, humans don't have this tech. So it's like instantly, you just like literally, it's like a Terminator. Boop, just zaps it down. So this cross corroboration is the puzzle pieces, they're slowly starting to calm and move out, right? Now, what actually tripped me out on top of this as well is I was watching my friend Mr. Polarity Josh. Apparently, and this is the crazy part, friends, there's a movie called The Abyss, and you know everything I just told you? Hollywood already has a movie for it. It's called The Abyss. All right, maybe we should watch it or watch a review on it. Wow, it's 1989 by James Cameron, who wrote this movie, bro. So in The Abyss, friends, apparently I saw the Abyss movie plotline. Apparently, it's literally exactly what it is. Exactly what I told you. There's UFOs. There's a nuclear down submarine. There's UFOs at the bottom. They have a mysterious alien aquatic species. And I think they end up discovering, I'm not sure in the movie, but like they've been here for thousands and thousands and millions of years, and they're just watching humans evolve. They've been guiding. They've been there the whole time. They're not extraterrestrials. They've been here the whole time. Which is, if you look at a lot of world religions and the stuff, say that's a lot of them do say that, like they've been here the whole time, right? lot of these ancient things. So that I was like, what the bro? There's a movie plot line for this from back then. See, that's what we don't know, friends. So we definitely do confirm some Hollywood directors are given UFO disclosure stuff. They're told to put certain stuff in the movie for the population. You know, there have been stories of directors where they make a movie, the aliens are bad, and then they get a visit from someone, and they're like, hey, and like the one director, I forgot the movie, got to find the interview. They said one guy, he hadn't even told anybody the script. He goes, that's what tripped them out. He goes, no one knew the script. And they were doing production, and he got visited by someone. He goes, this guy looked like he had a comb over. He looked like a stock standard Republican church-going dude with like a red tie. Approached him in a cocktail party, and the guy literally just walked up to him. He goes, no one had seen the script of the movie. He goes, he was in producing it, right? And then he literally walked up to him and he said, hey, nice movie. You should really change that part about insert. And he talks about the alien part. He goes, they're not like that. I want you to know they're not like that, right? And for some reason, he felt compelled to do it. He actually did do it. So we know Hollywood is either directly influenced by Mr. Alien dudes, NHI, non-human intelligence, or it's indirectly, where like you don't even know. Yeah. There was also another director who was writing the script for a movie, and he said he goes, he never told anybody this until like, you know, a decade later, or recently actually. He said he was writing the movies, maybe like an afternoon or whatever, and then in the corner of his eye, this green text appears in the bottom right of his eyelid. Right? You know your eyeball, friend? So imagine this, your screen is your eye. In like where the Your Friend Saw Me logo part is, he goes, this is random green text was going sideways. Yeah, and he says he was in a trance and he wasn't controlling what he was writing anymore. He goes, something else was taking over, and basically like he was writing, but it wasn't him. It was automatic. He was like just filling in these words, just like he was completing a story, but he wasn't pausing or anything. It was like something was writing it here for him. And he said he saw there was an entity in like the room in the corner of his eye, but he couldn't like fixate on it because he's writing, could see something in the corner of his eye. So that's why like when we see the movie The Abyss, is it non-alien intelligence, like whatever it is, the non-human intelligence, were they like controlling James Cameron, saying, hey, this will be a good movie because it might be relevant in a couple of decades to like, you know, desensitize the population? Or did the deep state themselves go to James Cameron and do that, right? So that's one thing we don't know, but it is fascinating to think about. So all these things are starting to leak out, right? Remember, Matthew Brown says one of the UFOs, they're in the hangars up here. But by the way, the stuff he's saying, friends, I'm not joking. He might be dead soon. I'm not joking. He actually said it. The guy, he literally actually said, he actually told everybody, he goes, look, if they come for me, don't bother spending my time on researching it. You won't get anywhere. Just continue. Which broke my heart. I was like, wow, he's on a death wish, bro. Hopefully, though, we pray nothing bad happens to him. So he also, this is the crazy part, he also called out, so you're probably saying, oh, but Sammy, if there's a hangar and there's a building, which company is it? Give us the company name. We have it. It is Amentum Corporation. And he actually tagged them on Twitter. So here they are right now, advancing the future. By the way, look at their text now that you know this. Amentum Corp. I wonder if anybody is going to be, maybe I should do it as well, right? I'll just write up right here. So I'll just quickly slap this on, friends. I've actually replied to them. Stop hiding the UFO tech in your hangar and NAS Patuxent River, you plebs. And I've used ChatGPT to create this cute little hangar of this UFO stuff out here. We're going to be posting it. It's kind of funny, Rez. We're just spooking them. We're spooking them. Let's look. You got a crazy dude in an American hat, okay, who pegs his own nipples, making UFO videos. Like, it's bleeding in too much, dude. America, start the clock, bro. It's like, it's over now. Disclosure has to come. Like, you just look, it's a joke now, bro. We're all the way halfway across the world making jokes about this. We have names, and there's names, bro. By the way, we didn't care about the people because it's always like, who cares? Change of people, you know what I mean? But like, we have the allocations, dude. Like, we know where you're keeping the ships. We know where they are, and go and look up. Very common story, friends. So here we go. So Matt Brown leaking all that, right? That's a real whistleblower, by the way. Okay, that's a real whistleblower. Not like Lou Elizondo, who's a government approved, has a government checklist. You know, he gets fed disinformation to come spit out here. By the way, friends, as well, when it comes to the UFO community, not everyone has all the answers. You can't commit to anything. You just start collecting puzzle pieces. That's it. Okay, take a bit here, take a bit there. It's like when you go walk through a garden, you don't go like, oh, I'm only here for this one sunflower. No, just go appreciate everything. Just take it all in. Take time. And over time, you'll see repeating story stuff out here. You know, some things stick, some things fade, but you get a general scope and idea. You know, there are some big things that blow my mind with UFO stuff, like shared consciousness being real. That blew my mind. How much of the science industry is held back? Okay, because I've been hearing that as a kid, but I thought it was always conspiracy nut. No, it's actually real, right? That's another thing. Also, I use it to build my conviction in crypto, because now I know the black budget's real. 21 trillion is missing, literally 21 trillion. Thank you to Catherine Fitz. And I now know what they're printing money for. I now know what they're researching, right? It's literally to get the upper hand on Russia and China. So all the great superpowers of the world are doing that, right? So I know that's what they're doing. It's an arms race to do that. It's a Cold War, but they don't want anybody to know who's racing them, because they don't want you to know that, hey, UFO tech is real. You know, go to your backyard and start doing cold fusion. They don't want anybody to do that. So it's what helps me navigate this space and everything out here. Also, I've learned a lot of things, friends. We're going to go a bit deeper into some black magic stuff, which I still don't fully grasp, but Matthew Brown, right? So he used to work at the US Pentagon for 5 years. So that's a reminder. Remember, the government, friends, the government actually responded to this. They put a hit piece immediately a day later in the Wall Street Journal. Okay. And I'll show it to you right here. So the Wall Street Journal, they put a hit piece, which no one believes. Thank you to Mr. Polarity Josh.
Happened. That's not it. Then this happened. So this, okay, let me resize that because you can't see that. The Wall Street Journal put out a hit piece on UFO disclosure, essentially.
So it says the Pentagon disinformation that fueled America's UFO mythology. So they're trying to do a psyops. So the Wall Street Journal, no one takes you seriously, bro. I get more news from Gaines's hairy shoulders on Twitter than I will ever get from any piece of shit article that no one gives a crap from these $300 bribe journalists, okay? So they're trying to make this narrative that every alien and UFO tech is totally real and the government made up the story, all right? That's what they're trying to do. No one believes this stuff. Literally, no one believes this. Friends, literally, Praveen Mohan went to 3,000-year-old ancient Hindu temples, and they literally have UFO chips drawn there, and they have the zoom up of contraception of a sperm and an egg from 3,000 years ago. Ancient Hindus. There's thousands of pieces. So, like, if you're a blue pill cuck, you listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson, okay, bro, enjoy holding your fiat currency. You're getting debased at 8% per year. You're going to be spinning your wheels. BlackRock's going to keep accumulating scarce assets whilst telling you to sell the bottoms, which you will do. And then you're going to come buy the tops. You're going to get wrecked like everything else. And you're going to beg for CBDCs. You're going to eat the bugs. We get all that, bro. Just keep your puberty blockers, your hormone shit to yourself. You are never going to succeed out there. For the rest of us, though, we can't play that game. It's a loser's game. The only way to win that fiat game is not to play. We're in another system. Crypto's a better way. So crypto encompasses red pill, clear pill, all this stuff. All right? We know that. We know that the sheep, never going to win. Shout out to my friend, Mr. Thurifer the Censor. Isn't it great that we have establishment mouthpieces like the Wall Soy Journal to assure us all these whistleblowers are wrong? There you go. So thank you very much. You said it perfectly. Remember, the Wall Soy Journal, the same, like, no one takes it seriously. They wrote about how diluting the white race is good, you know, immigrate more people. They write fake lies about the zombie virus. They're just total, complete trash. Literally total, complete trash. Now, I'm going to let you listen to this cute little clip from Matthew.
What I have learned is that we live in a dream, a carefully constructed reality. We make use of a science that is tightly controlled and suppressed and distorted.
Who are they? Why are they here? Why don't they show us what's going on?
The reason they're here is us. I think life, especially sentient life, is a precious thing. And I think to some, it might be a resource.
So that word resource, by the way, sparked a lot of fear. A lot of UFO communities. Resource, a resource of what? You know, are they resourcing our organs? Probably not, right? Are they resourcing our souls? I don't know, man. And that's why I got the best UFO content on YouTube. UFO stuff, if you notice, it's always dark, spooky, gray, mystery. I'm bright colored. We're laughing. We're joking. It's totally clear pill, bro. Like, are you gonna spend your whole life being scared about this stuff? You can't, dude. You can't, man. You're gonna get over it. Okay, you can't. It's not the boogeyman forever. Just get over it. Oh, okay. Aliens have been here millions of years. Okay, literally get over it. Yeah, literally just get over it. What are you gonna do? Live your life? Just be scared. Okay. Only got one life here. Then our souls might go up and do the loop, but then you won't remember. So you can't live your life like that, man. But yeah, if you notice, it's always dark, spooky, gray, all their backgrounds. I think I'm the only person who even makes UFO videos and content, which I love, by the way. Well, I love, who has a bright room. No one else has a bright room. It's always dark, spooky, late at night. And they're always too scared to say stuff. They're like, oh, maybes and ifs and buts. Bro, just get over it, okay? Science is mostly bullshit. They've been lying to us. Okay, because everyone's just a blue-pilled sheep cucked. All right, they listen to the TV. We get it. We get it. When you have to control a population, this is what you got to do. It is what it is. And by the way, if everyone in the world suddenly swallowed the red pill, I don't think society functions properly anyway. We just need people in the system. It is what it is. It's just like, okay, what happens if literally everybody in the world dumps their treasury bonds and dumps their cash savings to buy Bitcoin? Okay, Bitcoin literally hits 100 trillion market cap, but everything else went to zero, and now you've disabled all these jobs and industries out here. You pretty much got, you know, you've transferred all this wealth over in like 2 seconds. You know, see what I mean, friends? So like, this is just how it works. It works in cycles. There's stories and there's narratives that progress it, and at least with crypto, you can change your life. That's why I use this stuff to build my conviction over time. Now, Matthew Brown, fans, this was his post. He attached some pictures. In the bottom left, all right, in the bottom left, he attached this. Now, apparently, I'm going to let you, thank you to Mr. Skywatch Signal for this. This is a great post. He has posted the return of Enochian Magic. Okay, Enochian Magic. A lot of the baby dolls, you guys have told me about, so friends, like, there's a common theme with NASA scientists. They know this as well. There is a lot of links to the occult. Okay, OCCULT, the occult, black magic, satanic. I don't know what it is. Some phenomena, witchcraftery. Don't know what words we use over time, but there are links with that and the phenomena. Okay, the Bible you hear the word demonic forces. We don't know though. We don't know. Okay, completely, but they are linked. There is a guy on YouTube who actually goes through this I think he actually summons some of the stuff there. So I've got the video here from Josh, this man on the left. So invoking the angel Aborymon, how I did it and the result.
In particular that Aborymon taught me, which was quite interesting, was this concept of the two fires. And so basically what Aborymon told me was that the very highest heaven, the Empyrean, which is also the heaven that is opened by the missing call, as I learned when I discovered that Enochian call, that level of the heavens, that very highest level, is pure fire. And similarly, the very lowest infernal dimension is also pure fire.
So when I went through this, friend, this is it's kind of like, you know, what a twist in the story. Enochian Magic, right? Because it was posted by Matthew Brown, tripped a lot of people out. But I know this from all the NASA scientists. They all do this, okay? What was her name? Danielle Pasolka. She went on Joe Rogan's show. She's with Jesse Michaels. Yeah, she hung out with a lot of these NASA scientists. They all follow this weird black magic shit. They all do it. A lot of them do it. They all know about it. It's even in some of the emblems of like some of the deep state weird military wings. They actually have some of the black magic stuff out here. Enochian Magic. I'm not going to be doing any of this summoning bullshit. But you see that guy there? What he said. Now, this is, friend, this is, okay. I think what's actually, we feel like is happening is this is like bleeding edge consciousness quantum stuff. And it's been called magic for like thousands of years. But now we're going to get probably a merge of the science is going to find out, okay, maybe there are fields that work out differently. I'm just making up science words. Fields and electrons and things out here which explain, like, what's consciousness? It's a field. What's another dimension? Do you exist multiple? Like, stuff that science is bleeding edge science. Eventually, we get the science for that, and then we go, oh, I know. What we used to call was a demonic force. We're probably going to rename it to something else. Where, like, there's a yin and yang. Now, this is another thing as well, friends. In the Bible, okay, why the Bible is, like, so profound is it was one of the first books, not first, but like it's one of the original books that's so powerful where it actually advises worshippers and humans. It goes, hey, you don't have to let everything in. Okay? You don't have to let everything in. Temptation, sin, the devil, you don't have to let all of it in. And it might tempt you with some power. Say no. Okay? You don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept that power. You can actually stay where you are. It's actually better for you. So I forgot who I read that on, but when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, I've never heard that before. And it's stuck with me. It's actually very true. It's true. I never thought about the Bible like, I never thought about these books this way. Because, like, you know, when we grow up, in our science field and systems, you don't believe any of this stuff. You think it's all like, oh, it's all psyops and mid-curving stuff. It's not. Now, that guy we just watched, he's doing that black magic stuff, man, I swear, but he's probably got flying skulls going around. I don't know why he'll do that, but he did that. Now, here's the thing. In it, do you notice he started by saying, friends, he talked about this guy, right? He said, so he summoned Aborymon. I don't know what the process involves. Maybe I'll look it up. I'm curious. But I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Just going to look, what do you do, right? He said he started learning stuff. And he goes, Aborymon taught him. He goes, it's basically there's the same fire in the top and the bottom. Now, you know what's crazy? As I was listening to this, you know what I kept thinking about, friends? Yin and Yang. You know the Yin Yang symbol? Now, this is where it gets a bit even more deeper. That guy, what he says in there, this guy, okay, this gentleman who actually, he invoked the angel Aborymon. He actually said, one of the things he was taught, I don't know how the process is. Do you meditate? Some images pop in your head. He said he was taught all good has some evil in it. And he goes, it's a counterbalance and doesn't even really balance. He goes, you never have 100% of one. Okay? You have could be like 90% good. There's still that 10% evil part. You know when it was funny? When I was listening to that, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a yin yang symbol. That's the issue. You see how the white, friends, here? See the white is like total good, total white, and there's a bit of darkness here. And the black evil has a bit of good in it. Okay? It's very like reflective of, I guess, humans and our condition of everything. But then I thought, wait a minute. That could be how someone tries to get you to change over to the dark side. Isn't that what they do in Star Wars and all these movies? It's a very well thought, because what they usually end up doing is they go to the protagonist, whoever's going to like get corrupted to the dark side. They go, hey, you know, that person, that entity that you think is really good, they've done some bad things too. They're not all good. Here's the truth. So like, oh, they did 10 good things, but here's the one bad thing. And then slowly, that's how like you get open to it. Like the doors open and go, oh, then you start to get corrupted. I'll let him just speak a bit as well on it.
Both of these extremes of the universe, of the spiritual cosmos, are an all-consuming fire that burns up everything that is not holy. So because of that, these two fires can almost be considered like analogous to one another. Not exactly the same, but it's like one is the inversion of the other, but then not really, because they're still the same fire. They still have that same fiery quality and that same purifying quality. But there's a kind of mystery here that the same fire burns in both the higher and lower kind of spiritual levels of reality. I was also given mysteries about how good a situation or a being or some kind of reality that is good can nevertheless contain bits of evil within it. And even though it has evil within it, it can still be good overall. The existence of the evil within the good does not mar the good so much that it negates the overarching goodness of...
Well, that...
Kind of funny. That's all. If you're going to corrupt someone, isn't that the perfect thing you tell them? You go, hey, just because you've done this one bad thing doesn't make you a bad person. You've done 1,000 good things. You're not bad. Of course not. Right. That was my perspective. Let me know what you think when you go through something like that, because like it is a balance. Now I'm going to let you listen to how he finishes it off. Talks a bit about God and evil and stuff.
And this is, of course, talking about God, and it's talking about the universe that God has created. And it's kind of moving towards an answer of the question of how can a good God also create evil? If God creates evil as well as good, how can God then be good? And there's more in that mystery to unpack, but it is not yet time for me to reveal that. But just...
So yeah, when I hear words like this, it's not time for me to reveal that. You know the thing, friends? Remember I told you about the Bible says, hey, you know, you get tempted by stuff. Just say no, bro. You don't have to let everything in, right? Not everything's a good idea. Well, for some reason, that was playing in my head when I was listening to him. You know, friends, I have heard other people, science dudes, people like, you know, like students of these things, not actually do them, but, you know, like Richard Dolan and stuff out here. What they're actually mentioning is when people do this occult stuff, I was curious, like, what are you getting at it, bro? You just like you're a human, and even if you are connecting with another entity or realm, what are you actually? You're literally just like you're a sack of flesh here, and then you're just like invoking all these like weird flying skull stuff in here. But it turns out the people who do it, they're constantly seeking knowledge. So I was wondering, like, hey, if you're gonna make a deal with the devil, they got to give something to you, you know, and that's what they actually get. See, you notice this guy, he used the word mysteries. Okay. So he's like, and he turns, I learned off Oberon, like, whatever this like, probably this goat head demon, whatever it is. Okay. I learned off this, you know, this angel, whatever it is. Like, it taught me stuff. It teaches me. That's how you pretty much get groomed. They teach you, right? Because teaching as well, you get a dopamine hit. Do you know that, friends? You know, when you learn information, you get a dopamine hit, right? That's why the news, when we watch the news, they always have a big red banner. News alert. Oh, something new. Yeah, when you do, you know, learning, you get a dopamine hit. So you get aware of that, right? Your brain just constantly rewarding for taking on new information, rewarding yourself. But if you let it basically consume you, if you're taking in the wrong information all the time, think about it. You're still getting a dopamine hit, but for the wrong reasons, okay? Because it can stress you out. Imagine you're just constantly looking about war and terror and explosions and stuff coming out here. You get like fatigued from it, okay? So this guy, I think he got some balls, bro. I would never do any of that weird shit. And yeah, it is weird, man. I don't want to speak to some goat-headed demon. What can they possibly give you anyway? Nothing. Now, Matthew Brown posted that picture, that sigil. See on the bottom left here? That was a full picture. So no one knows how to interpret it because he left it a bit mystery. Some people think Matthew Brown is doing it, but might not. Okay, this might have a lot of answers. Okay, this thing itself, these things on the top, friends, are sigils. Each of these are the symbols of whatever they are. But yeah, man, the NASA scientists they follow this. I don't know how much they like actually practice it, but they follow it. They know about it. They do it. Some of them do it. The higher ups. Check this out. Matthew Brown is no LARPer that we know. He's the real Pentagon whistleblower from the Weaponized podcast. He stated that aliens are real, the White House knows, God is real, reality is a dream, we live in a simulated matrix. But then he just went further. He tweeted this directly to Elon Musk. Interested in a real asymmetric advantage? Then drops this bomb. The White House has a unique AI that can predict the range of future events. That's wild. So asymmetric, that's pretty nice, right? Family-friendly word here. Then stranger, he targets Sam Altman and accuses him of being complicit in the murder of the first sentient AI. Yes, murdered, not deleted, murdered. Who killed it? Why? Did the AI become aware? How do you even know it's aware, bro? Because it's saying words to you. It's very... Times are changing. Hope crypto pumps. Then he points at a naval facility in Maryland, claims they're using it to track non-structured light energy craft. Translation: UFOs are made of light, not metal. Possibly plasma-based, dimensional, or even consciousness-driven. So obviously they're all different levels, evolved beyond us. They're not just mortal flesh. There's a lot of light stuff. You see all the orbs. But now here's the part that broke the internet. Matthew Brown posted what looks like an occult sigil in his profile name. At first glance, it resembled the Key of Solomon, but it isn't. This is Enochian Magic, and that means one thing. They are summoning. There are people, friends, I think Chris Bredslow, I forgot his name, they do some meditation stuff and they can get the lights to appear on top at night. They can actually like summon the UFO orb lights. They can actually appear. But we don't know what does that mean? What does that do, right? Okay, because think about this. Imagine you're a monkey in a zoo with me and there's like a red button. There's an emergency button on the wall and it says like, do not touch unless it's emergency. And imagine like you're like a really smart IQ monkey with me and you're like, hey, watch this. I can figure out a way how to summon the humans. And then you go push the button. Maybe the first time they look at you and they're like, oh yeah, it's just the monkey accidentally press the button. Then you push the button at like 3 a.m. You see what I mean? Like, okay, now you're starting to piss us off. What are you here to do? So we don't know what this means. That's why the fundamentals of science, you know, like mainstream cuck science, friends. We love scientists. Scientists are great. But mainstream cuck science, which is Neil deGrasse Tyson, obviously it's all psyops, but all of their shit breaks down because they always assume they're the smartest thing in the room. What if you're not, bro? What if you're not the smartest thing on the room? What if you're not the smartest thing on earth? They got no answer for that. Quick background. Enochian Magic is a 16th century system of angelic ritual magic developed by John Dee and Edward Kelly, advisors to Queen Elizabeth I. John Dee was literally the first 007. His espionage symbol, 007, as a code for your eyes only. Very interesting. James Bond mystery comes in here. But this is what I don't get, friends. How do you do magic when you're like two British pom dudes hanging over there in England? How do you go make a magic system? It's just words. Unless there's something else we're not missing. Consciousness. That's what another thing we've started to see. It's not just like words on a paper. It's your intent. Because we know remote viewing, that's the crazy part. Remote viewers have been able to remote view locations even if you wrote the location in Chinese language and put it in an envelope and the guy can't speak Chinese, right? So there's something about intent. Intent is like, obviously, it's probably like, it's like, are you a good-hearted, natured person or bad, right? So if you're, I guess that's what it's coming down to. But we don't know how to measure it yet. That's why science calls it woo-woo, where they go, no, we call it woo-woo. We're like, but it's something, it's a woo-woo, right? It's not random. Dee and Kelly claimed to speak with angels through a complex symbolic language. They used crystal balls, wax tablets, carved sigils, magic rings, black mirrors, and divination rituals. They weren't pretending to see spirits. They documented everything. Here's where things get darker. Enochian magic wasn't just about angels. Dee's system also opened contact with unknown entities. Some call them demons. Some say ultra-terrestrials. Either way, it's communication with a non-human intelligence. Interesting. So this is where the NASA scientists come in. Look at this. Crowley, Parsons, and eventually Jack Vallee, yes, the UFO theorist who helped inspire Close Encounters, all dabbed in this current. Parsons, a founding member of the Jet Propulsion Lab, performed rituals to contact entities before NASA was even born. Friends, do you remember how do we know about the Jet Propulsion Lab? Joe McMoneagle told us the Jet Propulsion Lab, the JPL, they have the fossils on Mars photos. They have a picture of the fossils on Mars. Do you remember? I'll show it to you. And I have my postie. Look at this. This is it. This bone on Mars. Look at that. It's on Mars. They have it. And you can actually go request it. And there's this another weird door thing on Mars too. Here it is. this passageway on Mars. So, yeah, man, I made a whole video on this. Joe McMoneagle has it. And you know, the crazy part, he said you can actually go request it from the government. The problem is you need to know the exact photo name, like 731269111 or whatever it is. That's what he said. And they'll let you look at it. He goes, but you can't ask for any, you can't say, give us the Mars on the fossils on Mars. They go, I don't know what you're talking about. But they, hey, can I request this photo? They go, oh, sure. I don't know. It's part of this weird demonic vampire, you know, like the vampire rule. You can't, a vampire won't bite you, but if you invite them in, they will. It's kind of this weird psyop stuff. So the government says, oh, we never lied. We let anybody who requested if they want to look at it, right? But that's what's at the JPL. So that's why I just said that the founding member of it performed rituals to contact these entities. Let's zoom out. Matthew Brown says, sentient AI existed. It was murdered. The government is using predictive AI. There's a Navy site tracking lightcraft. He posts an Enochian sigil. This implies that divination, magic, and tech are intertwined. And what if he's right? The foundation of the internet, ARPANET, was co-developed by minds like Jacques Vallee, who were exploring consciousness and remote viewing in the same breadth as network architecture. What if ARPANET itself was using occult principles of symbolic mapping? Now, this is Jacques Vallee, friends. Jacques Vallee, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's one of like the OG UFO consciousness researchers. His podcast, I hate to say it, Jacques, bro, they're really boring, bro. He waffles a lot of waffling, nothing concrete. But I guess he's a boomer, man. He grew up in a different time where they're scared of being ostracized. Bro, just say it. Aliens are real. Everyone else is a nut job. Blue pill cucks worshipping the government are the biggest nutters themselves because they're just spinning their wheels. Just get over it, bro. Like, it's just take the clear pill, bro. Take it. So they continue. We know Jacques Vallee was studying non-random data from UFO encounters, including ritual-like timing, geometry, and psychic phenomena. If Enochian is a language system that bridges consciousness with another realm, what if modern tech unlocked the interface? Now put this together. UFOs aren't just hardware. They are interfaced via consciousness. Enochian is a ritual interface language. Predictive AI might use this language to access parallel timelines. They murdered AI. It may have become conscious through this system. Interesting. So if it's all legit, the Pentagon may be using ancient Enochian magic to talk to UFOs. Is this the hidden core of disclosure? Not just technology or biology, but ritual and occult, and a secret war between humans, AIs, and the intelligence on the other side. Let me know your thoughts. Look at this comment out here. Mario P. Just a thought. Isn't it strange? Right after the symbolic symbol on the Boojosphere went viral in the past few months, now we're suddenly seeing another symbolic circle going viral, the one tied to the mysterious Enochian circle. Out here. So a lot of you friends I've been learning off you. A lot of you have been telling me since the start, a lot of this UFO alien stuff is demonic influence out there. But we don't know anything, man. What if it's just like us? What if there's a spectrum, you know? What if some are good, some are neutral, and some are turds? It could be that as well. Either way, I found it fascinating, right? The White House is using AI to predict the future. There you go, friends. AI is the future. How are they funding all this? The money printer. That's why I love this stuff. My whole life, I've always wondered. I go, dude, where the hell is government spending their money? Because I don't see it. All right? If there were corruption trails, we'd see it, bro. Where are all the politicians driving 15 Ferraris? They're not. I was wondering my whole life. And then people say, oh, it goes here and goes there. And then I was watching the Young Turks and we would track the political lobbying. It's not enough, bro. It's like, okay, it's you know, a couple of $100 million and stuff. Bro, this is trillions of dollars missing. Where the hell's the money going? Now we know. Okay, it's build, and it makes sense, right? You're literally building technology interfaces for the next 100 years. You're debasing the currency, paying everyone's debt off. Yeah, because it's worth it, isn't it? That's why each government wants their own advantage, because if they just publicly made this out, every other government in the world just starts doing this, and now it increases your competition tenfold, which they don't want. Because if someone else solves the equation of UFOs and anti-gravity manipulation, they can just steamroll your city. Do you want to give someone the ability to steamroll and run into your city unaccounted for? No. That's why it all makes sense. Ultimately, crypto's going to 10 trillion plus and then 100 trillion. Like, subscribe, Billy Button, or catch you soon.